move by now.
Oh, Jiggy.
What? Oh man.
What the fuck? Dat was echt dan. Dit was het.
Motherfucker.
They went in for an adventure, but what they found was pure nightmare fuel. Tonight, you'll witness 6 terrifying moments that were never meant to be seen. What lurks in the woods might be far darker than you expect. Let's begin. The first video tonight comes from Man Dog Wild, a UK-based outdoor adventure and wilderness exploration channel, blending remote hiking, bushcraft, wild camping, and occasional solo paranormal style sessions. Known for immersive first-person experiences and minimal exaggeration, the channel incorporates tools such as ghost boxes, infrared cameras, and magnet detection devices, while remaining largely grounded in environmental awareness. It is June 28, 2025, in remote mountain terrain, United Kingdom.
Of the software, and the software has words in them allowing basically spirits to use energy to communicate. So are there any spirits in the area, in the mountains, in the home with me tonight?
As darkness approaches, the explorer settles inside an abandoned hermit's house, laying out his roll mat and organizing his camping gear. He begins powering on paranormal devices in preparation for a session. Almost immediately, he notices unusually rapid battery drain, affecting both his phone and camera, even while connected to power banks.
Reficio? Do I see it? Reficio. Reficio. I don't think that's a word, so is that your name? Bottle. The water bottle outside. Should I go to the water bottle outside? I left my water bottle outside. Maybe we should go there.
The ghost box produces fragmented words, including refizio and bottle. When bottle is heard, he realizes his water bottle is outside and steps into the darkness to retrieve it. Nothing unusual is visible. The response remains ambiguous. Possibly coincidence, possibly pattern recognition influenced by suggestion.
Okay, we're using the good old-fashioned ghost tube to start this one off. Is there any spirits in the building, in the area, in the mountains with me tonight?
It's dark.
Oh, I love this one, huh? It's dark. It is dark. It's very dark. Can you tell me your name?
Keep recording.
Keep recording? Why, are you going to do something? It's very difficult for me.
A magnet detector peaks at maximum strength, something he states has never happened to him before. At roughly the same time, the app displays the phrase, "I'm following you." While electromagnetic fluctuations can occur naturally due to wiring remnants, geological variation, or device calibration sensitivity, the pairing of the spike with the phrase amplifies the psychological weight of the moment.
In a couple of other places, and that was in an ancient woodland and the other one was in Racton Ruins. So I'm going to try one more time with the old seer and see if this produces any images that may lead us to something. Even now, you're like on red. You are on red.
Both phone and camera continue draining power unusually quickly, even while connected to backup power. He notes that similar battery behavior has occurred at other locations he considered active, though environmental factors such as cold air density and unstable charging connections remain plausible explanations.
Well, it was an interesting night. It's always interesting when we do these paranormal investigations, because who knows what. I'm a little stiff today after sleeping on this foam mat. Probably didn't help from the journey in yesterday. That's always hard work as well. And again, conditioning, just out of condition.
The following morning, he reports hearing a distinct echo through the mountains overnight. No recording captures it. Given mountainous acoustics, echoes can travel unpredictably across valleys and ridgelines, but without audio evidence, the sound remains unexplained. No apparition is captured. No confirmed physical interaction occurs. All responses come from device-generated output rather than independently recorded voices. The investigation is defined less by visible phenomena and more by technical irregularities, rapid battery drain, magnet spikes, app phrases, and fragmented words, layered against isolation and mountain acoustics. He leaves safely, with no direct confrontation or injury. The experience remains unresolved, shaped by a combination of environmental variables, technological behavior, and the heightened awareness that naturally comes with spending a night alone in a remote mountain structure. Before we move on, if you're enjoying the video so far, leaving a like really helps. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. We recently passed 50,000 subscribers, and that's entirely because of you. The next target is 100,000 before the end of the year. Ambitious, but worth aiming for. There's a hidden word somewhere in this video. See if you can spot it. Now, let's continue. The next horrifying video comes from MBNS, an outdoor adventure and comedy-focused YouTube channel documenting overnight bushcraft camping, shelter building, fire cooking, and woodland exploration. Known for humorous banter and light survival challenges, their content occasionally shifts into tense territory when isolation and darkness set in. It is November 22nd, 2025 in the United States, Pacific Northwest region, likely Washington or Oregon wilderness.
Set me out on an excursion to find more rocks. While I am doing that, I brought a little surprise with me. Gonna enjoy myself a little skittle on the way back as a little prize, you know. Hard work. It's gonna pay off. But yeah, we're finding some great rocks here. Oh, that one's stuck in there. Not coming out anytime soon. Great finds. Oh. We got a rock here. Come to daddy. Oh, I think I just split myself in half, but that's all right. We got one. Took about 70 health of fall damage.
As night settles over the forest, the two campers begin constructing a simple open-plan stick shelter. They dig a small fire pit, gather rocks for reinforcement, and collect firewood before preparing food, including tinned salmon and beans. Their tone is playful as they joke about wildlife threats such as bears, coyotes, and even rogue hunters. The nearby river provides steady ambient noise. While the mood remains light, the remoteness of the location and diminishing visibility introduce a subtle vulnerability common to wilderness camping after dark.
Oh yeah. Bro, there's a guy with the light over there. Bro, turn the fire off. Bro. Fire's gone. We'll be back with you shortly. Which way are we gonna go? Start of the finish. Start right here.
The tension rises immediately. In forested regions, headlamps from hikers or hunters can travel unpredictably through trees, but without clear identification, uncertainty dominates the moment.
This way.
So, if you look over here,
That's crazy.
it's the burial mound of the Ojibwe. We're gonna want to be careful. These places are probably haunted. Let's keep moving.
Attempting to navigate back along the river, they briefly become disoriented. Conflicting directional assumptions create a short spike of tension. In dense forest at night, sound from water can distort orientation, making even short distances feel uncertain.
Get this out of here, bro.
Bro, that's our spirit mushroom. It protects us from our ghouls and spirits.
And shit.
And
Type.
did you hear that?
The campfire suddenly flares higher than expected, startling both campers. Fire behavior can change quickly depending on oxygen flow and wood placement, but in the dark, sudden brightness and sparks can trigger an instinctive fear response. The night concludes without confrontation or confirmed threat. The mysterious moving light, momentary disorientation, and unexpected fire flare provide tension, but no direct danger materializes. The experience illustrates how wilderness environments naturally amplify uncertainty after dark. Between distant lights, historical sites, and navigation challenges, psychological tension emerges even in otherwise controlled situations. Ultimately, the camp is successful. The humor and camaraderie remain central, balancing mild suspense with practical bushcraft skills and a grounded outdoor adventure rather than true horror. The next chilling video comes from Genevieve, a solo travel and car camping content creator, known for immersive nature vlogging and candid reflections on the emotional realities of exploring remote wilderness alone. Her content blends scenic documentation with honest commentary about vulnerability and self-reliance. It is June 26, 2020 in Alta Lakes, near Telluride, Colorado, United States, close to old ghost town ruins.
Like in a tent. But I don't know, it's just, I'm so not used to this. Like, I'm not used to camping, I'm not used to sleeping in my car, and I'm feeling, I guess, that like loneliness of realizing, like, if someone else was here, I would not feel this anxious. But it's like, the fact that I'm alone, I'm like so far away from home, and also just far away from like after driving 4 miles up the freaking wagon trail, and just realizing like I'm just kind of like we're definitely set back up here, and I don't know, it's just kind of overwhelming. Oh, the other thing I was gonna say is totally like some animal in the woods like scared the crap out of me. I have no idea what it was. I think it was a moose. It made kind of a moose noise. But so like kind of, I won't show you because you can't really see anyway, but like kind of across from my campsite, there's another trail that looks like it used to be a campsite, but they closed it and they have like a thing up that's like for restoration. And because I'm just like walking around bored, I just decided to walk up there to the hilltop and just like take some pictures and stuff. And then all of a sudden,
Genevieve arrives at the Alta Lakes campsite after navigating a steep, narrow dirt road. The alpine setting is visually striking, surrounded by mountains and remnants of historic mining structures. She sets up her car for the night and explores nearby trails for photographs. Although the scenery is peaceful, the combination of high elevation, fading daylight, and complete isolation introduces subtle psychological pressure. The stillness of remote alpine environments can feel calming by day, but exposed and vulnerable as darkness approaches.
it's like you're on the hill and it's like a little bit open, but like there's a bunch of trees and stuff like right behind. All of a sudden this loud, like, I don't even know how to describe it. This is why I don't know what animal it was. I don't even know what kind of noise this was, but it felt like kind of like a screechy, like I'm assuming like a moose noise. And I should Google like what a moose sounds like, because it was like, screechy, breathy. I don't know how else to describe it. And then so I turned, because I actually thought it was like a machine or something at first. Like I thought it was something mechanical. And so I turned around and all I could see in the trees was like a huge figure, like either like a head like going like this, or like something like falling from a tree or something. It was clearly like some bigger animal than just like a freaking like chipmunk. And so I don't know what it was, but I just like ran or quickly.
While walking a nearby trail, she hears a sudden, loud screech, later believed to be a moose. Simultaneously, she glimpses a large shadow moving through the trees. Moose vocalizations in mountainous terrain can echo unpredictably, and large wildlife moving through tree cover can appear more dramatic than it is. Startled by the volume and proximity of the sound, she retreats to her car. The vehicle becomes a psychological safe zone, reinforcing how quickly a peaceful hike can shift into perceived danger when alone.
I feel like you guys won't even believe it, but on my back, I'm just gonna like show you like the back of my car here. There's that little stand, and I hear the tapping. I don't know where it's coming from, and so I just like I'm like looking all over the place. I'm like, oh my gosh, where's that coming from? And I didn't see it. And then the last place I look, and there's this like big ass bird like right there, like perched himself on the back of my car, and he's just like looking in like, hello. And then he's even like flapping his wings like into the window as if coming in here is an option. And it was so bizarre. I'm like, there's millions of trees. This does not, why do you need to tap here and try to act like this is a place to go for you? It was so weird. And I so wish I got it on film, but he was only there for like 30 seconds. And I'm like, when I first saw him just like perched there, like staring in at me.
The night becomes less about confirmed danger and more about internal response to isolation. Darkness, altitude, wildlife sounds, and solitude combine to intensify worst-case thinking. Despite moments of fear, she also captures clear alpine skies filled with stars, a reminder of the beauty that draws solo travelers to such locations. By morning, she reflects honestly on her emotional state and recognizes the limits of comfort in such remote terrain. Rather than framing the experience as paranormal or malicious, the takeaway is grounded. Solo wilderness camping magnifies both awe and anxiety. Understanding personal limits becomes part of the growth that comes from confronting isolation head-on. The next shocking video of the night comes from Search for Supernatural, a US-based paranormal investigation team exploring reportedly haunted locations in real time. Their content focuses on immersive overnight investigations, using night vision cameras, REM pods, Ovilus devices, and EMF meters, while keeping reactions largely unfiltered. It is July 7th, 2024, at Sorrowwood Grove, United States.
Because our REM pod's going off.
Yeah.
And we're out here all alone, there's no one around.
And nobody sleeps at this campsite because this is where full body apparitions are seen, voices are seen, and if you go to sleep in your tent, something comes and messes with your tent.
As Tyler and Jiggy arrive at the campsite, their REM pod immediately activates. The forest is dense, with limited visibility beyond the tree line. Natural creeks and distant woodland noises echo around them. While the REM pods can respond to environmental interference or radio frequency fluctuations, the immediate activation upon arrival sets a tense tone before the investigation fully begins.
You sound like a lady screaming. You hear it? What the fuck is that?
A sound resembling a woman screaming is heard in the woods. The team reacts cautiously, acknowledging that wildlife in forested regions, particularly foxes or other nocturnal animals, can produce human-like vocalizations. Even with that possibility, the timing combined with equipment spikes increases their unease.
We Dude, we were just walking, trying to find the site that they say is the most haunted. And across the path, somebody just walked across.
We saw some feet.
Way up there. And now we can't find our way out. All right, we gotta figure this shit out. All right. So, pretty sure we saw somebody on the trail that we're currently on. We ran and got turned around.
Back at the campsite, the REM pod spikes again. They report seeing distant lights and movement beyond the tents. Voices and footsteps are heard, though no visible person is confirmed. In remote wooded areas, distant campers, hikers, or light reflections can travel unpredictably through trees, complicating identification.
Oh! Jiggy, 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 Jiggy.
What the fuck was that?
Who is that?
Hello?
Yo, come out. Come on. Come on. Yo. Yo.
Bro, there's nothing there.
What
Was that?
in the world is going on? Hello?
After sustained disturbances and continued equipment activation, Tyler and Jiggy decide the location feels unsafe to remain overnight. Attempts to settle down are repeatedly interrupted by sounds and perceived movement, leading them to end the session early. The investigation escalates steadily rather than through a single dramatic incident. Equipment responses, unexplained sounds, distant lights, and perceived movement combine to create a sustained sense of being observed. While natural explanations remain plausible for individual events, wildlife calls, environmental interference, distant human activity, the cumulative effect pushes the team to prioritize safety over continuation. The experience reinforces how quickly isolation and layered stimuli can transform a campsite into a psychologically intense environment after dark. The next video comes from creator Mick, a paranormal content creator who explores remote forests and abandoned locations at night, documenting real-time experiences with minimal editing and raw reactions. It is February 7th, 2026, in a remote woodland. Mick and his companion enter the forest with minimal lighting and handheld recording equipment. The woodland is extremely dark, and ambient sounds, rustling leaves, distant snaps, shifting branches, feel amplified in the quiet. From the outset, both are alert and uneasy, aware that limited visibility increases vulnerability and misinterpretation of normal forest activity. They then discover photographs nailed to trees bearing the phrase, "It is him." The placement is deliberate and physical, strongly suggesting prior human involvement rather than a spontaneous paranormal event. The discovery shifts the tone from natural unease to the unsettling possibility that someone has staged the environment intentionally.
Waar ga je heen? Colin? Colin? Nee, kom even terug alsjeblieft. Ja? Oh, daar ben je. Bro, wat doe je? Wat ben je aan het doen?
Colin briefly separates from Mick and returns appearing disoriented and inconsistent in his recollection of events. In high adrenaline, low visibility environments, short separations can distort time perception. Stress can impair short-term memory, especially when compounded by darkness and fear. The confusion begins escalating from environmental tension into interpersonal distrust.
Ik heb de hele dag naar je gezocht.
De hele
Waar
dag?
was jij?
Ik was gewoon...
Na het strand heb ik jou niet meer gezien.
Toen ik even kwijt was, bedoel je? Oh, there he is. Yo, bro! Colin! Oh. I lost him. What happened?
Did you hear the helicopter?
Yes, I saw.
I heard someone screaming.
Oh.
Like from right over there.
Seriously?
Yeah, and now the helicopter, it's like freaking me out, man.
Discrepancies intensify. Disagreement over whether a hat was worn, possession of a flashlight, and conflicting timelines. Arguments break out as both attempt to assert their version of events. A helicopter is heard overhead, which may account for some auditory confusion and environmental noise. The suggestion that something is hunting fast reflects heightened paranoia rather than documented pursuit. In isolated woodland settings, cognitive bias can amplify small inconsistencies into larger perceived threats.
Ik zag mijzelf weer zonder gezicht. Die dacht gewoon met de tijd uit, bedoel je? Nee, is bro. Ja, Jen, waar heb je hem nou?
Muts?
Ja.
Ik heb mijn muts niet opgehad vandaag.
Je had hem nog op de hele tijd toen we hier aan het lopen waren. Oké. Oh man!
What the fuck? Dat was recht op.
Dit was het. Oh, okay. Guys, I swear on my whole life.
After leaving the forest, the pair theorize about a skinwalker-like entity capable of mimicry and psychological manipulation. However, no visual evidence of a shape-shifting figure or physical entity is captured. The experience is defined by confusion, staged imagery, auditory ambiguity, and memory conflict rather than confirmed paranormal manifestation. The investigation escalates through psychological destabilization rather than direct supernatural confirmation. Darkness, staged objects, sudden noise, and brief separation create a compounding effect where perception becomes unreliable. The most unsettling element is not a visible entity, but the erosion of certainty between the two explorers. Isolation and suggestion transform ambiguity into fear. They leave the forest shaken, not because something was definitively seen, but because uncertainty fractured their trust in what they believed they experienced. Before we get into the next clip, around 70% of people watching aren't subscribed. We're working toward 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you're enjoying the video, hitting subscribe really does help. All right, let's get back to it. The last video of the night comes from Adam Eater, a US-based solo wilderness exploration and bushcraft creator focused on self-filmed backcountry survival. His content centers on traditional navigation methods, including map reading, compass work, and terrain association in remote forest environments. It is August 21st, 2017, in a remote North American wilderness within a heavily forested logging region known to be black bear habitat.
One of the scariest situations I've ever been in on a wilderness hike by myself. I ran into a pretty freaking aggressive black bear that totally threw me off course of my little map here. I probably didn't mention it on the way out here, but I am using terrain association to navigate on this little trek here. So my topo map, I'm using basically elevated spots to stay out of the swampy.
While moving along a ridge, he spots a black bear approximately 30 to 40 yards ahead. He immediately claps and shouts in an attempt to scare it off, a standard deterrent technique meant to assert human presence. The bear does not retreat, and the tension increases.
Hind legs, and like starts sniffing the air in my direction, which is not what you want them to do. So I started making more noise and started backing up the way I had come. Well, he started coming at me kind of towards the right and down into this kind of ravine area on the lower part of this terrain that I'm following. So instead of me being able to go right and pick up on...
As he attempts to navigate southward through unfamiliar forest, he realizes the bear appears to be following him. His urgency rises as he checks his compass.
Mother. Hey, Jesus. Go, get it!
Feeling directly threatened, and with limited options remaining, he fires warning shots. The sound finally deters the bear, which retreats into the forest. With the immediate threat gone, he continues navigating carefully toward the logging road and eventually makes it back to his vehicle safely. The encounter highlights how quickly a routine navigation hike can escalate in bear country. Although aggressive black bear behavior is uncommon, isolation and proximity can increase risk rapidly. Despite being forced off his planned route and experiencing a prolonged encounter, he exits the wilderness unharmed. The experience reinforces the importance of preparation, defensive awareness, and remaining composed under pressure in remote forest environments where wildlife behavior can be unpredictable. And that wraps up another dive into the unknown. If you're into spine-chilling footage and unexplained encounters, hit that subscribe button and stick around. We've got more coming, and it only gets weirder from here.